With nearly 30 mixed martial arts bouts on his record, San Luis Obispo's Preston Scharf brings a wealth of experience to the cage. Having competed for the first time in 2003, the John Hackelman product looks to prove that he still has what it takes to get things done inside the cage. Jordan Williams returns to Lemoore for the second time after his TKO stoppage over Christian Barber. Fighting out of Santa Rosa, Williams has shown his ability to stop foes, with 3 of his 4 victories coming by way of TKO. Straight ahead, it's Preston Scharf versus Jordan Williams. You're watching Tachi Palace Fights. Jordan Williams makes the walk to the TPF cage for the 3rd time in his career. He is 1-1 here in Lemoore. All of his stoppages are by way of TKO or KO. His roots in mixed martial arts go all the way back to an amateur career starting in 2010. This guy's an exciting fighter, Cody. He puts on a show when things go his way. I mean, this man is a striking clinic. And, he has the physique of a kickboxer, of a Muay Thai fighter. And I assume he's going to sort of have that same approach here tonight against Preston Scharf.
Well, Williams is a dangerous fighter in all positions. He was a junior college state champion here in California. Trains out of NorCal Fighting Alliance, which is in my opinion, one of the better jiu-jitsu schools in the state, let alone the Northern California and their Dave Terrell. And he also has some solid striking. His only loss actually is due to cut here at Tachi Palace Fights last year, I believe. But so he doesn't actually have a legitimate loss on his record. He was actually winning the fight when he got cut, so kind of deceiving L on his record there. But very dangerous guy. This is a big test for him, though. You fight a guy like Preston Scharf, who's such a veteran. Young guys that are just getting started in the sport, or at least on paper with their record, there's a lot of question marks. How much are they improving from fight to fight? And we're going to find out. We'll be able to answer some of those questions tonight.
You mentioned Dave Terrell in his corner, a former UFC middleweight title challenger. There's a lot of newer fans since Dave Terrell last fought in the UFC's Octagon, but they do need to know that Dave Terrell was pegged to do really big things in mixed martial arts, and for one reason or another, he sort of put all that effort into his students, and he's a fantastic coach with a wealth of knowledge to impart on the next generation of mixed martial artists.
Yeah, I mean, him and the Diaz brothers were, some of the original guys coming up from that Cesar Gracie team, and he fought for the belt, didn't go his way against Evan Tanner. And then I think he had one more fight in the UFC and won, and then called it a career. And he's been teaching ever since at his school. And
Dave Terrell really burst on the UFC scene when he knocked out Matt Lindland in vicious fashion. So, not only a jiu-jitsu practitioner, he can, really help out his students with some striking ability as well. And when you're a Dave Terrell ranked jiu-jitsu fighter, man, it's good. If you're a blue belt, you're probably really a purple belt. Purple belt, you're probably really a brown belt. And if you're a brown belt, you're as good as a lot of other black belts.
Joe Soto is a good example of that, yeah.
Brown belt.
Yeah, still a brown belt.
Preston Scharf is no stranger to mixed martial arts, as he has 30 bouts on his record, going all the way back to 2003. We'll talk about teams with Dave Terrell. Scharf is from a very, very high-esteemed camp, training with John Hackelman in the pit. He's trained with the likes of Chuck Liddell, Glover Teixeira, Scott Leidy, and TPF veteran Antonio Banuelos. He has every trick you need in the book. 62% of his stoppages have come by way of submission, but if you train with the guys at the pit, he's comfortable on the feet.
Yeah, and I've had an opportunity to train with both of these guys. Scharf, not that long ago, a few months ago, I was in the area and stopped in at San Luis Obispo's gym and was able to get a grappling and wrestling session in with him. He's one of those guys that he doesn't look like he's like overly muscular, but then he gets his hands on you and you're like, oh my God, this guy has some man strength to his game, and that's something I felt right away. And I mean, this guy's been around forever. I mean, he's got almost over 30 fights, or right around 30 fights. Still, like we talked about earlier, that love for competition and that excitement you get from stepping in the cage that you can't really get anywhere else. And so when I saw his name on the card, it excited me because he's a real tough guy.
Yeah, he is a veteran taking on a young buck. You'll see a theme of that throughout the evening as well.
Yeah, that's kind of one thing I was excited about this show was that you're seeing a lot of, for this show in particular, a lot of veterans, some established guys that have some big names on their record, and they're fighting a lot of these up-and-comer guys that have good records, that are coming up. They're younger, they're hungry, but they've really got to climb that mountain and beat one of these type of veterans to get to that next stage, to continue to progress throughout their career, to show that they're ready for the next level. And this is one of those fights that you really get to see that as a good example.
Yeah, and there are veterans, and then there are guys that have been fighting for 12 years. And Preston Scharf is a guy who has been fighting for 12 years. Has fallen on some harder times, but definitely still a game opponent. He will try to test Jordan Williams. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for our welterweight affair. Preston Scharf stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. Jordan Williams at an even 6 feet. Both came in at the welterweight limit under 171. There is the age experience for Preston Scharf, 44. Jordan Williams, 25 years old. Let's throw it up to Tyson Johnson for our official introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This fighter stands 6 feet tall. He weighed in at 170 pounds. He represents the NorCal Fighting Alliance with a mixed martial arts record of 4 wins and only 1 defeat. He hails from Santa Rosa, California. Please welcome Jordan Williams. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He weighed in at 170 pounds. He represents the Slow Paragon Fight Team with a mixed martial arts record of 13 wins and 16 defeats. He hails from San Luis Obispo, California. Please welcome Preston Postal P. Scharf. Your referee for this bout will be Jason McCoy.
Jason McCoy getting this welterweight assignment. Looking at the corner of Preston Scharf, he has Batiste Mansouri in his corner. Batiste from Millennia. Preston's been all over the place, networked with a lot of guys, so he can get help from pretty much anybody.
Yeah, he's well known in the California MMA scene, has been for a long time.
Jordan Williams coming out hard here, stalking Preston Scharf.
Preston, primarily a grappler throughout his career, so he's going to have to deal with that young movement, of Williams here, but Williams actually putting him up against the fence momentarily.
Oh, hard knee there, but it looked like maybe Scharf was trying to lower the elevation there, trying to get a takedown.
Yeah, he tried to step around, too, and turn the corner on him, but Jordan, like I said, he's a very good wrestler. Good double underhook here. Underhook, Preston tries to spin through, ends up giving the back.
Nice little technical exchange here early.
Yeah, good little grappling or wrestling exchange by both men, both accomplished wrestlers, so they're going to know their stuff in that department.
You talked about the strength of Preston Scharf. He definitely has it. I'm not going to dispute it, but Jordan Williams looks like a monster.
Yeah, he's shredded up, man. That's the difference between 44 and 25, though. Sometimes it can be deceiving. Sometimes you'll get a guy who's really shredded up, doesn't feel like they're strong at all. It's just sometimes looks can be deceiving, but I'm sure he has the same kind of strength.
Scharf able to get back to his feet. Nice little kick there set up by Jordan Williams. Takes it back here. Nice exchange. I really like the way Williams is able to integrate his striking to that wrestling background.
Yeah, he's looking real fluid on his feet. Didn't so much early on in his career. It took some time, That's what's great about seeing these up-and-comer guys. And from fight to fight, you see the difference. You never know what you're going to actually see in the cage because in 2 to 3, 4 months, it could be completely different. He's framing
Preston
up.
Scharf thinking about maybe going out here. He's hanging out for the time being. Jordan Williams wraps it up. Rear naked choke stoppage.
Yeah,
Jordan Williams gets it done over the veteran Preston Scharf.
Yep, just tied him up there, had the back, able to sink in the hooks, and then sink in the rear naked choke. So, like I said, these Cesar Gracie Jiu-Jitsu guys, many of them, that's a tough room to be in and day out. And they've got the Jiu-Jitsu chops to prove it. Looks like it's on the jaw, actually, of Preston. But he's got the squeeze that you need. Preston forced to submit and tap out here.
Preston Scharf, definitely on the downside of his career. He's in a bit of a losing skid, but for Jordan Williams to get it done over a veteran in that manner says a lot about this kid's future.
Yeah, like we said, there's question marks surrounding Williams and whether he was ready for a test like Preston, and he answered a lot of those questions with flying colors with the first-round submission. So, exciting stuff.
Jordan Williams gets it done. First-round stoppage. Let's go to Tyson Johnson for the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute 42 seconds into the first round, your winner by way of tap out, Jordan Williams.
Jordan Williams now 2-1 inside the TPF cage, 5-1 on his career as a professional. And Cody, I'm really excited about this kid's future here at Tachi Palace Fights.
Yeah, you're seeing him get more and more comfortable on his feet. We all know he's a great wrestler and has good jiu-jitsu, but now we're starting to see really that fluidity he's showing on his feet, which is exciting to see him develop like that. He's got a bright future, and he's around the right kind of people. You see Dave Terrell in there with him. His boxing coach, I've worked with him before too. He's a good boxing coach, so definitely has the right guys around him to have success.
If you were Richard Goodman, your job is to foster this talent. What would you see next for Jordan Williams?
I mean, maybe a title contention type of fight. I mean, his one loss at Tachi Palace, this was that little wrestling exchange we saw, but his one loss was due to a cut. It wasn't really a loss. And he was actually winning the fight when the ref stopped it after the first round. Here he locks in the rear naked choke. Again, sometimes just across the jaw. If the guy's got a good enough squeeze, that'll force you to tap, because if you don't tap, you're not going to go to sleep, but your jaw's going to break off. Literally, you're going to break your jaw.
And Jordan Williams has that strength definitely in the first round. Nice stuff done by him. We roll on here in Lemoore. Up next, lightweights inside the TPF cage.